Welcome to Middle Math Academy's Distributive Property level number 5. This is part of our differentiated series where we have 5 levels of challenge for every topic. Let's get started. Make sure your name is at the top of this paper. Let's go ahead and take a look at our learning targets. I can write equivalent expressions and combine like terms using the distributive property, and I can draw a model to represent the distributive property. Before we get started, go ahead and rate yourself 1 through 5 on our learning targets, 1 being the least confident and 5 being the most confident. At the end of the lesson, we'll come back and we'll rate ourselves after we've gotten some more practice. Let's go ahead and get started with some examples. Our opening says, draw a model using the distributive property, then write an equivalent expression. Let's zoom in on example number 1. When we're drawing a model using the distributive property, we can think of the number on the outside of our parentheses, this is our coefficient, as telling us how many groups there are. So in this example, we have 4 groups of 2C plus 2D. So I'm going to start by drawing what's on the inside of my parentheses. So I'm going to draw 2C and then 2D. Since we have 4 groups, I'm going to repeat that 4 times. 2C, 2D. Make sure you're writing with me. Now that I drew 4 groups of 2C plus 2D, I can easily see that we have 8C plus 8D. This is our equivalent expression. You cannot combine these to make it 16CD. Okay, that is something really important to remember today. Think of it like 8 cats and 8 dogs. You don't have, 16 cat dogs, all right? They are separate animals. We have to keep them separate. Go ahead and try example number 2 on your own, then come back to the video. For example number 2, we have 2 groups of 5D plus 4E. So you should have written D 5 times and E 4 times. And since there's 2 groups, we'll repeat that another time. And then we can see that we have 10D plus 8E. That is our final answer. Don't be the person who writes 18DE. You cannot do that. You have to keep your variables separate. All right, go ahead and complete example number 3 and 4 on your own, then come back to the video. We've talked about how the coefficient, or the number on the outside of the parentheses, tells us the number of groups. Another way to think about it is a distributive property means multiplying the number on the outside of the parentheses by each term on the inside. So parentheses means multiply. Remember, you can always pause the video if you need more time. Let's take a look at example A. It says write an equivalent expression using the distributive property. So we're not drawing models here. Instead, we'll take kind of a quicker approach and we'll multiply our 12, our number on the outside, times D. 12 times D is just 12D. Then we'll bring down our minus. If it was a plus, you'd bring down the plus. And then we'll do 12 times 4, which is 48. This is our final answer here. Go ahead and try example C on your own, then come back to the video. For example C, we're going to multiply 8 times each term on the inside of our parentheses. 8 times 8 is 64. I bring down the plus. 8 times 5H is 40H. And that is our final answer. 64 plus 40H is our equivalent expression. Go ahead and complete the rest of page 1, and then if your teacher wants you to, check in with them to get some feedback. Complete example A and B on your own, then come back to the video to check your work. Check your work for example A and example B. Then complete the rest of page 2 on your own and check in with your teacher if they're asking you to. Let's take a look at page 3. Go ahead and complete A through F on your own, then come back to the video. Let's take a look at problem G. We know that parentheses means multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. And so I need 3 times a number to get 12? Well, I know 3 times 4 is 12. Go ahead and complete problem H, then come back to the video to check your work. In problem H, 10 times 2 is 20, and 10 times 7 is 70, so 7 goes in the blank. Go ahead and complete the rest of page 3 and check in with your teacher if they want to give you feedback. Let's take a look at the top of page 4. Our notes say you can simplify expressions by combining like terms. Make sure you're writing with me. And you can only combine terms that have the same variable. So if there's more than one A, you can combine all of your A's, you can combine all of your B's, and so on. So let's look at this example right here. I'll zoom in a little bit. We have 2 times 3A plus 4B plus 5A. So now we have 3 terms, but we're still going to treat it the same way. We're still going to multiply 2 times all 3 terms. So I'll start by doing 2 times 3A, which is 6A. Make sure you're writing with me. Then I'll do 2 times 4B, which is 8B. And then 2 times 5A, which is 10A. Okay, so this is similar to what we've already practiced, except now we had 3 terms. Now that we have this, I can look and say, oh, okay, well, I have 6A and then another 10A. So because they're the same variable, I can combine them to make 16A. So now I can rewrite this as 16A plus 8B. Let's practice another one. Let's take a look at example A. In this example, we have 3 terms in our parentheses. We're going to start by multiplying our coefficient times each term. 7 times 2C is 14C. We'll bring down the plus. 7 times 2D is 14D. Plus 7 times 4C is 28C. So here is our first answer. When we write our equivalent expression, we're going to combine like terms. Remember, you can only combine terms if they have the same variable. So we can combine 14C plus 28C, which gives us 42C, and then we can just bring down the plus 14D. We can write our terms in alphabetical order. C comes before D, and you can't combine them anymore. Think about it like 42 cats and 14 dogs. You can't combine them to make 56 cat dogs. Go ahead and complete the rest of this page. Once you're finished, check in with your teacher if they want you to. Go ahead and complete all of page 5, then come back to the video. This video will not go over all of page 5, but I do want to take a look at problem E. In this problem, it says select all expressions that are equivalent. We're not multiplying, we're just adding. So when we combine like terms, I like to underline all the terms that have the same variable. So in this example, we have 2H plus 1H plus 13H. When I add all of them together, I get 16H plus, then I'm going to add my terms that don't have a variable. 8 plus 8 is 16. So 16H plus 16 is one of my answers. Now, I know the ones with exponents are not correct because that's H times H times H. But let's multiply this out and see if our first expression is equivalent. 8 times 2H is 16H, plus 8 times 2 is 16. So this one is also equivalent. Now that we've gone over E, just double check that you got F, G, and H correct, and then check in with your teacher if they want you to. Complete all of page 6, then come back to the video. This video won't go over all of these problems, but we will go over closing problem B. Tom and Tracy are asked to write an expression equivalent to 6 times 5A plus 4B. Who is correct and why? The correct answer here is Dom is correct because 6 times 5A, remember that's what we'd multiply first, plus 6 times 4B, remember parentheses means multiply, equals 6 times 5a is 30a, plus 6 times 4b is 24b. To close out today, make sure that you answer our debrief questions. In your own words, what did you learn today? How much effort did you put in during class? And what do you think is a common misconception a student might make on today's lesson? Once you're done filling out this entire page, we're going to go back to page 1. At the beginning of today, you rated yourself on our learning targets 1 through 5 before the lesson. Now that we've had some more practice, you're going to rate yourself 1 through 5 after the lesson. As always, don't forget to get your teacher's initials. Thank you for joining us today at Middle Math Academy, where we practice Distributive Property level number 5. This is part of our differentiated series, where we have 5 levels of challenge for every topic. If you're looking for any additional practice, make sure to check out levels 1, 2, 3, or 4. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful day.